What's up, everyone? Welcome to the most positive pop culture podcast in the multiverse, Metalcore Nerds, the podcast that features members of your favorite bands as we explore their love of pop culture. I'm your host, Sean Mott, and this week I'm joined by Tim of Windwalkers. Welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you so much. Appreciate you having me.
I'm very, very stoked to have you here. I'm very honored that this is your first podcast appearance. That makes me feel good.
Yeah. Normally we let Trevor handle the interviews. Obviously, with him being the vocalist, has a little bit more insight as to like the meaning. But
Right.
as far as nerdy stuff goes, I'm the guy.
You're in the right place.
Yeah, sounds like it.
Whether you're returning to the show or first time listener, thank you so much for tuning in. The best way to support the show, subscribe to our favorite podcasting platform. If you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe, hit the like button, comment, let us know what you're thinking of the episode. Let us know what you're watching. If you want your daily fix of Metalcore Nerds, you can find us on all social media at Metalcore Nerds. You guys have a very unique sound. I mean, obviously there's bands that like you kind of sound like ish, but even it, I hope you don't take this personally, but there's like a boy band aspect to your band.
No,
I grew up in a boy
awesome.
band, so it feels like almost like a metalcore boy band. There's a lot of cool influences in this EP. So I wanted to know if you had to sum down like 4 of your biggest musical inspirations for the band, what would they be?
I mean, I think that's huge praise, honestly. Like we try to, push ourselves, push boundaries as far as genres and stuff like that go. So when listing 4 bands, I think, speaking of, we'd have to list like Bring Me the Horizon. I think, probably since Sempiternal, every album feels like it's almost like a different vibe, genre. Like they're really so innovative, and like they push so many different boundaries where you don't really know sonically what they're gonna come out with next. Like their newest CD was like that whole emo, early 2000s revival, and they've done like hyper pop, and they've done, metalcore. Like they run the gambit. So that's a band that we really like look up to, as far as just a band that can like have so much success in so many different facets. As far as like musically, it's a band that every band aspires to be like. I think when we really started, this band, Rain City Drive, was one that we really looked up to. They're the first band that really kind of had that like pop. Them and like Dayseeker, I would say, really had that like that super pop mainstream influence, but we're like incorporating it into like metal, alternative rock. When we were like first starting the project and being like, oh, like what do we want, this next run of, a couple of our past two releases, this kind of sound like, we're like, what if we like take the like that boy band aspect of it and like, kind of use like the alternative, the rock metal music, but like have those kind of vocals, like really powerful hooks and like vocal deliveries. So that was something that like we really influenced us. Still to this day, they're both very like incredible bands. I don't know, like Chase Atlantic is a band that,
Yeah, okay.
they're super cool, like very, very vocal driven, but like their music is rock, but then, it kind of has like an EDM aspect to it. They like dive into like that hyper pop kind of thing too. It's funny, if you like ask any other band members, they'd give you like probably 4 different bands, but like, because like our bass player loves like Gojira and Slayer, and like we all kind of grew up with like that classical rock and like metalcore in the early 2000s. So like it's been a whole like, I don't know, it's helped that we've kind of like, dived into like so many different genres. And like I mean, I love, Billie Eilish and Justin Bieber and The Weeknd, and like those,
Oh, yeah.
Really pop influenced bands have had like a big impact on me and Trevor, in particular, when it comes to like writing music. So yeah, I've definitely listed more than 4 bands, but like we try to always one up ourselves. If not one up, just like try something different, whether it's like pop punk influenced or pop or rock or indie, or like it makes it interesting, So like we're, kind of taking all those inspirations at any given point. So
I guess the best way to do it to make things that aren't like, I wouldn't say new, because like you said, like there's
mhm.
bands like Dayseeker, bands like Rain City
Yeah,
Drive, but like I can tell the difference between you guys easily. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like the
cool.
vocal delivery is different, kind of like
Mhm.
there's some like there's like some weird, like almost like 8-bit video game influence style, like
Yeah.
sonically stuff in there that I was like, oh, okay, cool. So
Yeah.
it's cool that you guys take all this influence. I mean, it pays off for sure, because you can
Yeah.
tell you're like what kind, like the sonic journey that the EP brings you on is really cool, and I
Hell yeah.
really appreciate what it does. It's hard because there's so much music out there, and a lot of
Hmm.
bands end up sounding the same or trying to do the same
Yeah.
thing or whatever,
Yeah.
and good on you guys for trying to pack a lot of stuff in there and stand out. That's good.
Appreciate it. Must be doing something right. So,
Yeah, I would say so. So you
hell yeah.
said you're the nerd of the band.
Yeah.
So I want to get into the beginning. What started this all for you? I know that you play some video games. You're into some kind
Yeah.
of like Magic the Gathering and D&D and
Oh
stuff
yeah.
like that. So
Yeah.
like, what was the thing that got you into all that stuff in the beginning?
That's a great question. I was super into anime too growing up. Like, it's funny, it's so taboo back in the day to say you're into anime, but now it's like having a revival. It's cool
Biggest
to
thing, yeah.
say. It's like I'm not ashamed of it anymore. But I loved like kind of like fantasy driven. I never really like Grand Theft Auto. I'd rather play like Legend of Zelda, like those kind of like high fantasy sort of aesthetics, I guess. It's funny, my dad had like an old like Super Nintendo, and apparently he would play Zelda with me and my brother when we were kids. And like we were probably like 2 or 3, like very, very early on. But I don't know, maybe that like stuck with us to the point where like we just loved that throughout our whole lives. But I don't know, growing up and like watching like Pokemon and like Dragon Ball Z, coming home from school and like watching
Yes.
those anime, like you'd rush home just to like make sure you didn't miss, the newest episode, or else you'd be like completely lost. This was before like
Yep.
streaming where you just, watch everything chronically, like back to back. Like if you missed an episode, you were just like, what happened sometimes? So
Yep.
yeah, that was probably like early on. And like Toonami was like a big one. It would start at like 11 o'clock at night. And like when you're in, middle school or high school, you want to talk about like getting lost. But like there's so many cool like cartoons, like animes and stuff like that, that really kind of like, it's funny that you bring up like the 8-bit kind of like newest kind of song, like Silk and Static is the new ones. Like I think it's super heavily anime intro, video game influence, like kind of incorporating
Yeah.
those like hyper pop elements. Like, so my brother's the other guitar player, and like it's both of our dreams to have one of our songs be like the intro to an anime, because those songs always slap. Like they're
Oh yeah.
always like
Always.
so energetic, and like you have, motions of like the main characters like fighting or like flying around, and it's just like it'd be super cool to write music like that. So that's kind of what we sort of did with like that last song. And from there it's kind of like, I love video games, Legend of Zelda, like Final Fantasies, all those games were like ones that I just kind of like gravitated towards growing up. And like I feel like the natural progression is to go and like, oh, like Magic the Gathering, like those on cards. It looks really cool aesthetically. And then you learn the game, it's just like, this is dope. It's like cool puzzle games and like strategy. And then, you kind of even go further from there. You find a group that's like interested in Dungeons and Dragons, and it's kind of like a live action video game where it's a natural progression. It feels like anything nerdy I feel like I gravitate towards, at least in like those kind of aspects.
Have you played Magic or D&D while on tour?
Magic for sure. D&D is a little tricky. We've thought about like
Right.
putting together like a group with it. Like I know I'm the only one in the band who's played like a campaign. They've all played like Baldur's Gate, so I feel
Yeah.
like they'd kind of like hop into it, easy enough. But we have a pretty small crew at this point, so it'd be kind of hard to get in like a solid session.
Right.
But maybe at the point where like, we got a driver and like, a bus and like the space to do it, and like, text and stuff like that to help set our stuff up, that would
Yeah.
be sick. It's a great way to pass time, especially if you like, if you have a really tight knit group, people you're comfortable with, and you can like joke around. That's when I feel like the games get really, really good. So that would be sick. But Magic the Gathering, it's a little easier. You can kind of have like one-off games. They take like, 15 minutes sometimes, and you'd be surprised how many other bands like love Magic the Gathering. Like there's always someone on tour who has like a commander deck, and I'm just like, it's my whenever we start a tour, like I pick those people out. I'm like, there's got to be someone here who will play Magic with me.
Yeah, I had Will from Dance Gavin Dance on like a few months ago, and
Nice.
he loves Magic the Gathering, and he was talking
Yeah.
about how he would play it on. I mean, he got into it through touring. He saw one of his TMs playing it, and he's like, "What
Hmm.
is this?" And he told him all
Yeah.
about it and got obsessed with it. And he's like, "Yeah, he's like
Yeah.
I've played with like the home team. Like I always
Yeah.
find the
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
up
I've heard.
there on the tour."
Yeah.
And try to get the games going. Yeah, I would imagine D&D would be pretty hard, but it would be really cool.
It'd be
It
sick.
would
And
be
it's
really
like,
cool.
it kind of like the worst part about D&D is like scheduling, just getting, typically if you have people who work 9 to 5s, and like you got to pick out one day where everybody can meet up and like,
Right.
have the session for an hour or two. But like one person cancels, so you just can't do it because that person, oh, you could, but like
Right.
that person misses out on like, potentially a lot that happens. Where I feel like if your band is doing it, like we're all together most of the time. Like if
Right.
it's a show
Yeah.
day where, we're in the same area, sometimes you get to venues and there's not a whole lot to do. So it'd
Yeah.
probably be cool.
Yeah. Especially if load in super early. Get everything
Yeah.
set up and then you're just waiting
Waiting. Yeah,
forever.
yeah. Yeah. Show days
Like,
are
oh,
a lot of waiting.
I guess I'll
Yeah.
go find a coffee shop or something.
Yeah,
I'll just
yeah.
sit
And it's
here.
cool. It's cool if you're in like, metropolitan, like a big
Yeah.
city, but sometimes some of these venues there is
Nothing.
nothing. You're lucky to find a coffee shop.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
that's
I know.
that's a good idea.
I know the struggle. Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully you guys get there. And
Yeah.
I hope you guys get an anime intro song. That would be
Now
so
I don't know
fucking
who.
dope.
Yeah, I don't know who we have
You
to
guys got to
talk
get
to.
him with
I've like,
Crunchyroll. You
yeah,
got to get him with Crunchyroll.
yeah, yeah.
I know they
We were like,
love
they do. Yeah,
alternative music and stuff because it's like there you see those interviews come out all the
yep,
time where they talk, like a band talks about anime and stuff. A ton of bands
yeah,
have done it. Like a ton of bands tour. What is it in Texas or something?
yeah, yeah,
I can't
yeah.
remember it all the time. Oh, you did the
I think
tour?
we did in spring. Yeah, it got offered.
That's
It got
awesome.
offered to us, and we're like, yes, absolutely. It was so funny.
Yes.
Like, so me and my brother are like the big anime guys. Our vocalists to a certain extent too, but like there are two of us who just they don't get it, which is fine. It's not for everybody, but we brought them on
Right.
the tour, and we're like, there are these life-size statues of like your favorite characters, and we're just like, oh, who's this? And he's just like, oh, that's John. And it's just like Goku or something like that. Like they just make up names for him and stuff like. It was
That's
almost as
John.
entertaining. Yeah, yeah. No, yeah. No, Alex over there, he's the man. He loves, you know, he loves so many different like genres of music. You always see him bringing like it'll be like Knock Loose one week and then like Chase Atlantic the next. It's just like
Yep.
runs the gambit really of like, but that's the cool thing. Like all these guys, most bands have one or two guys who like anime or
For sure.
something, some nerdy aspect. You can always like, you can almost bank on it.
Yeah, I grew up with Dragon Ball Z and Toonami and
Hell yeah.
Pokemon, everything like that too, and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
fell out of it. Not for I think it was just more access. Like wasn't really a
Yeah.
ton of like US didn't really have access to that kind of stuff, like in
Yeah, early
between
on.
the
Yeah.
like DBZ and like now, or
Hmm.
like the last like 5-6 years or whatever. And then when
Yeah.
My Hero Academia started getting big, that's when
Oof,
I
yeah,
got
yeah.
super back into it. Watching that and Demon Slayer and Jujutsu Kaisen, like all the
Hmm.
big ones. Basically,
Yeah.
Attack on Titan is my favorite. I love.
Yeah.
I think
You want to talk about
that oh my
killer
god.
anime intros, like that
Oh,
rumbling
dude,
song
Sim.
is yeah, yeah. Yeah, that band's
Ugh,
sick. I like it is so funny too because I'm like, oh, this is dope. And then you like find those bands because of it. Like I've like Sim, like Pale Dusk is a sick one. Like
yeah,
Cult is a band from Japan we just played with that they did one for Frontier Saga, I think is the name of it. It's just like it's a band that I liked, and then I was watching the anime and the song came out and I'm like, this sounds really familiar, but I really like it. And I looked it up and it's just like I don't know. I should have asked them like, who do I talk to? Like,
yeah.
is it Sony Japan? Like, who do I gotta like send a letter to? Because I would
Right.
love to do that. I think it'd be cool. But we'll just
Yeah,
have to
I would love it.
incorporate it into our songs, and maybe they get picked up.
Yeah, we'll just manifest it here that it's gonna
Yeah,
happen.
yeah. Fucking, I need all the
Yeah.
help I can
And then
get.
we'll look
Yeah.
back on this when it does
They'll see
happen
this.
and be
They'll
like,
see this
yes.
interview and they'll be like, "Ah, you just had to ask." Like,
You just had to ask. Simple as that. It's really
yeah,
easy. You
yeah,
just
yeah.
that's it.
It's probably a label thing or something. I'm sure, but
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure.
I
It
would
was
I would
something.
have the most amount of fun with that because like we're actually in the studio right now and just kind
Oh,
of starting demoing out stuff. It's the very early processes where like, what do we want? You know, what do we want it to sound like? It could be,
right.
you know, there's so many cool bands doing cool sounds nowadays, but we're just like, I always come back to the anime stuff and just like, oh, well, let's try this. And like, our producers are super cool. I'll show them, and it's like, oh yeah, this is a vibe. Like, we'll see what happens, but no,
Awesome.
it's been cool so far.
Good, good. I'm happy to do that. I'm stoked to hear new music when eventually. I know, as you said, it's early, so it's going to be a minute
Yeah,
before
yeah,
I hear something. But looking forward to
yeah.
it. So, what are you currently into? Whether it's anime, other TV shows, other movies, like what have you been watching like this year recently?
It's always a lot of anime, honestly. Like, I did just catch up with like Demon Slayer and JJK. I like when seasons like that come out, like episode by episode, I just let the whole thing. Like One Piece is one that's just like always kind of like that. I'll take breaks, but then I'll be able to binge like 100 episodes back to back. Maybe not back to back. That's a little much, but like consistently over let's say a couple months. Depends on how long it is. But
Right.
yeah, I let a couple of those lapse, like Demon Slayer with the movie coming out and stuff like that. JJK, all those kind of good ones. I watch them with my girlfriend too, so it's one of those things where like we have to watch them together. So if I'm on tour, it's just like it gets pushed off like months sometimes, and like the whole season's out. I'm trying to avoid spoilers, and we're in the studio. Our producer had me watch. Is it Pluribus? It's like a new show that just
Yeah.
came out. Did you see it? It's sick.
I've seen 7 of 9 episodes. I got them early,
Oh, no way.
and I got to review it, and I love that series. For
Okay,
one,
cool.
big Vince Gilligan guy, Breaking
Yeah,
Bad,
yeah,
Better Call
likewise.
Saul.
Yeah.
Love those series to death. But to see him do something like weird and sci-fi, I know he like started on the X-Files, I think, or
Oh,
something like
really?
that. So he has
It's got
like
that
roots
background.
in weirdo sci-fi. But seeing Apple just fully embrace this crazy bonkers like normalized sci-fi with like this and Severance has been
Eh,
my favorite
Yeah.
thing. Like
Yeah, he got me
it's
into Severance too, and that's right down his alley. He really loves like the sci-fi. But we watched the first 3 episodes, I think, are out at this point, and
yep.
it's very good. It's cool. It's a unique twist on like that whole. I won't give too much away, but like the whole like
Yeah.
alien, hive mind kind of stuff. But I'm enjoying that a lot, honestly. I watched a ton of movies. We just went to Japan recently, so I watched like probably 10 movies on the flight. I can't sleep on flights, so I'm just like, movies are the best way to kill a big chunk of hours.
Oh yeah.
A lot of them were bad, so I won't bring them up. But Sinners was cool. I hadn't seen Sinners.
Sinners is awesome.
Yeah, yeah, it was like really cool, like Tarantino vibes, and like I liked
Yes.
I liked that one a lot. I'm trying to think if any other ones were like noteworthy, really. Like, was it Death of a
It's funny how
Unicorn? Was it a trip?
yeah, I saw that in theaters and it was like
Yeah,
cool but not amazing.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know?
It was. There are a lot of good movies to watch on an airplane when you're, stuck in a box. Like it kind of validates a lot of them, but I heard the new Frankenstein's really good. I want to see that.
I was lucky enough to see that in theaters. It was in theaters
Yeah.
for like 2 weeks or something like that. And I live in a pretty small city in upstate New York. So
Okay.
when I saw it was on my theater listing, I was like,
Mm,
what? Because
yeah.
Netflix is so limited. It's usually only big cities, and that's it. But this
Huh.
one, the spread was wider and it was out longer than usual.
Yeah.
And I think that was a Guillermo del Toro thing where he's like, I want
Oh
this, I
yeah.
want
Yeah.
people to see it in
In.
theaters as I
Hmm.
can. It's a beautiful movie.
Yeah.
I loved it. I just thought and I need to preface this with I love long movies and I love
Yeah.
slow burns, but
Mm,
some parts of this movie definitely could have been sped up a little bit,
really.
in my opinion. I know some
Yeah.
people don't share that same opinion,
Yeah.
but I still think it's really good. Jacob
Nice.
Elordi, who plays the creature, is unreal, and I hope he gets
Yeah.
nominated for an Oscar for it because
Nice. Yeah.
he's so good, and he gets obviously there's a lot of prosthetic makeup and everything on top
Hmm.
of him and stuff, but
Yeah.
that the way that dude plays, like like basically a newborn creature and evolving
Yeah.
into kind of a rage monster, evolving into what
Hmm.
he becomes,
Yeah.
it's incredible. And
Nice.
obviously the visuals are amazing. Like it's on
Yeah.
Netflix now, so if you can watch it whenever you want
Yeah.
at this point. So that's a big recommend. It's not
Oh yeah.
gonna I don't think it's gonna crack my top 10 or anything of the year,
Hmm.
which I know a lot of people will disagree with me, but
Yeah.
I thought it was very, very, very good watch. Very, very well
Nice. Yeah, I'm excited. That's another. The girlfriend saw a trailer for it. She's like, "We gotta watch that one." I'm like, "Okay." So it'll be another probably 3 weeks before I see it, but I'm looking forward to that one. We really like the Nosferatu. Like that
Yep,
cinematically was very cool. I don't know if like similar vibes. I don't really know.
very similar vibes.
Yeah, if they'll be like necessarily like the same, but I kind of got caught similarities between them. Yeah, I don't know. Like I love movies. I just haven't really been able to see whole lot, like in theaters. I love going to the movie theaters. I wanted to see that Weapons. I didn't end up seeing that, which is a bummer. Yeah.
Whew.
You like, was it good?
That's like my favorite movie of the year. That and Sinners.
Really?
That's my like 1 and 2. Weapons is
I,
did you watch Did you see Barbarian?
yeah, I've seen that one. Yeah.
Same writer director that
Okay.
dude did Weapons. I feel
Nice.
like it's because I know a lot of people can kind of, and I understand why the second
Mhm.
half of Barbarian people kind of like check out. For me, it
Yeah.
reminded me of like Cabin in the Woods, and I loved it. Of
Yeah.
like
Plot
started one
twist.
movie, yeah,
Yeah.
and then just ends up being a totally different kind of movie.
Yeah.
This one
Hmm.
is the same kind of movie throughout the whole thing, and it's a little bit creepier. It's not really like I hate how people like create this weird thing with like if a movie isn't quote unquote scary that it's not a horror movie
No,
because
yeah.
scary is subjective
Yeah.
anyway. But
Yeah.
I like what the movie stands for, and it stands for a lot of things kind of all at once. And I know he
Hmm.
wrote it from a place of grief of losing a friend, and there's other
Mm.
kind of very big analogies in it as well, and it's kind of
Hmm.
like a viewer's choice of like what you take from the movie rather than them telling you what the movie is about, which I really
Yeah.
appreciated.
Yeah.
And it's told from different perspectives that all kind of lead to a big finale, and I
Hmm.
love non-linear storytelling. So if you get me with a
Yeah.
non-linear storytelling, I'm already
Yeah.
half in the bag, but then you
Hmm.
totally execute it really well. Because
Nice.
I went to that, I think well, I know he was very adamant of the marketing being pretty vague, of kind of
Hmm.
only like the first trailer is like basically the opening scene. It doesn't really give
Okay.
anything away, and then as
Yeah.
you watch it you're like, oh, okay, cool. The only thing you know is like these kids disappeared one night and they're
Hmm.
gone. Like that's
Yeah.
why are these kids gone,
Yeah.
and it's best that's all you know. If you I hope you don't know any more than that.
Honestly,
Because that's the best
no.
way to watch it.
Now that
Cool.
you're, I have friends who've watched it and like it's been out for a while, so you would think that
Yeah.
like it'd be spoiled for me, but I can't remember seeing anything like that gives any of it away other than like the
Yeah.
trailer. I still have no idea. Like I know the kids, but like I don't know like the extent of it other than it's a good movie and it's worth the watch. So I'm hoping I can get that. I get some downtime coming up. I got to catch up with all these, honestly.
I'm glad that you don't know anything. That's the best way to watch it. I think
Yeah.
is to watch it without really knowing. And seriously, the opening scene is it's not like they build up to the kids disappearing. It's like the movie starts being like the kids disappeared,
Yeah.
and then the whole movie is like, why did these kids disappear? And then it goes through
Gotcha.
different perspectives in a really really cool
Interesting.
way.
Yeah.
I think Zach Kreger is an incredible talent. And I'm down for whatever that dude has to offer. Like I'm just like,
Yeah.
whatever you make, dude, I will be there day one.
Nice. I've heard nothing but good things about it, so it's definitely on my list. You got what else you got for me? Is that you said that cracks the top three too?
Weapons is my number one. Sinner is my
Yeah,
number two. Those are
yeah.
those are my
Cool.
my top two movies of the year.
Good for
Those are some of my favorites. I did just see Predator Badlands in theaters too.
Yeah, our producer said he saw that like a week ago. He said it was sick. There were mixed reviews because someone was like a
Mm,
Predator like purist. I guess I haven't seen it, so I can't really say. But
yeah.
like I saw Prey was awesome, and I saw the animated one that got released. I
Yep.
thought it was really good too. And it's the same. I think it's the same director who did this one, like this
Same
new
guy.
kind of trilogy. So I'm sure I'll like it for sure. I can see how it's like a different spin on your traditional Predator movies, but like I think they're all good, you know?
Yeah. It is the weird part of it is there's been a very vocal minority of people who
Hmm.
hate this movie with never seeing it.
Yeah,
And I can
yeah,
get some people who it wasn't their thing.
yeah. Yeah.
I just loved the new spin of it, putting the
Hmm.
Predator as the main character.
Yeah.
Almost the whole movie is spoke in Yacha, like a
Oh, really?
made up language. Yeah, the Predator speaks only in that. And then
Yeah.
another character gets involved that understands that language and is
Hmm.
kind of like the audience point of view in a way. The way they reference it is super cool, and they add some more Predator lore, which I think Dan Trachtenberg has been doing since Prey. He's been like especially with
Yeah.
Killer of Killers, like
That
the
one was
fact that
cool.
like I I think it was obvious that I don't know if it was obvious, but I don't know if it was ever confirmed that predators time travel. But they made it very clear that predators can time travel wherever they want in that movie. And I was
Yeah.
like, whoa,
Yeah.
that's kind of crazy.
I
And
didn't
what
even
they
think
do with
about
people
that.
who do,
Yeah.
yeah, it blew my mind. And
Yeah.
what they do with people who end up defeating a different
Yeah. Like
gotcha,
you
like
take their
it's
mantle or
crazy.
whatever, and like yeah. I won't try not to ruin it, but it's sick. It like now that you mentioned it is cool, like putting almost like you see like their world. I'm sure that like
Mm,
I can't really think about like I'm sure I've seen the first handful of like the traditional Predator movies, but they didn't really go into like the lore other than there's multiple of them, but you don't really
yeah.
see their world or you don't see how they like, interact or train or like have, you know, arena type, Coliseum games. Like it's very cool. I do like where like this guy's taking it. So I'm sure I'll love like this newest one.
It's really funny. And I
Oh
know
yeah,
that sounds super weird to say
for
about
sure.
a Predator
Yeah.
movie. I mean, the first one's an 80s schlock fest of like the worst one-liners you ever heard in your life. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess there's always been a weird comedy element to some of these movies too.
Yeah.
But like Prey is it's a pretty serious. It's a pretty
Yeah.
serious movie.
Yeah.
So is Killer of Killers. But
hmm
this has like it doesn't make the Predator goofy though. He's not really the funny part. He plays the straight man,
hmm
and then Elle Fanning's character is kind of the comedic relief, and they
Gotcha.
explain why she's like that and everything. So it
Yeah.
all
It's
feels
not out of left
natural.
field. Yeah.
So I can see why people didn't like that. If the humor doesn't land for you, you're not gonna like the movie,
Yeah.
and
But
that's fine. But
yeah.
I went with a group of friends, and we all
hmm
had like the time of our lives. It was
Oh
probably
yeah.
the
Nice.
funnest movie I've seen in the theater this
Really
year. Like I just had so much fun watching it. It was great.
nice.
It
Yeah.
was really cool.
I'm kind of bummed. Like I'm kind of bummed that they went to see it because like I don't get to see movies a lot. So like if like our
Mm,
producer is also front of house, like we'll be on tour and it'll be like, let's go see a movie. I think
hell yeah.
we ended up seeing, I forget the name of it. It's like the superhero movie, but it's like I don't know if it's Marvel. It's got she's blonde, is like female
Oh,
protagonist.
Thunderbolts
Yes, yeah, that's what we saw.
with Florence Pugh.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yep. Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That was cool. Like, it's a cool riff on like this whole Marvel trope that I feel like a lot of people are maybe kind of over at this point, but
Yeah.
it was worth the watch. I think it was cool.
Yeah, I like
But
that one a
that's
lot.
a
That's probably my favorite Marvel movie to come out this year, and there's been 3.
yeah. What are the other like? I feel like I haven't heard like Madam Web, was that one of them?
That's Sony
Was
Marvel. It's not the same.
okay, yeah, all right.
It's a
I've only
common
heard like
misconception though. That
yeah, I've
movie's
only heard like the bad
bad.
ones. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's like a weird thing because I don't know. Obviously, the superhero genre has been such a big thing over the last like 10 years, and now there was all like those Venom movies that weren't connected to the MCU, but I like any
hmm
person who isn't like obsessed with this stuff just associates it with it, and they're like, "Oh, I heard Marvel's
Yeah.
bad." When it's like half the movies
Yeah.
that they probably thought were bad and connected weren't even connected, and
Yeah. Yeah.
it's a weird thing. But next year for Marvel is Spider-Man and Avengers. Like they're going to be winning so hard, it doesn't
Yeah.
even matter.
Yeah.
And this year was pretty good. They had a Captain America movie that I thought was decent. I thought Thunderbolts was really good, but no one really
Mm.
watched it.
Yeah.
And then Fantastic Four was pretty good.
Okay. Yeah.
Easily the
Yeah.
best Fantastic Four live action movie, which I know isn't saying much because the other ones
Yeah.
are bad.
I will say I've
But
only seen one. It was not great. Yeah. It's probably
yeah, the other ones you don't
15
even know.
mil. Yeah.
They're pretty bad.
Yeah.
They're not great.
It's funny when you think of
They're
like
not.
they kind of like started Marvel started with like just a handful of like terrible movies and then just like we're like actually those old ones forget about those never happened, we're gonna start fresh and like the old like Hulk movies and like that Fantastic Four and like Green Lantern. I don't know if Green Lantern that's DC, but like all those old superhero movies that were like bad, they're like we're just gonna forget all those existed and like try over.
I am a big TV guy. You mentioned Pluribus, which obviously I'm kind of waiting. I rewatched the first 2 episodes, and I want to.
hmm
I will probably start rewatching them as more
Yeah,
come out, so I'm
they
I'm
come out.
not
Yeah,
like lost when the final 2 episodes. That's like the worst part about getting some of these, and this is like the biggest first world problems ever. But like
you
sometimes you
didn't get
get
the
some of them early, and it's only a chunk. Like I
oh
got
interesting.
Welcome to Derry, and I only got 5 out of 8 episodes, so it's like I'm
Is that
waiting
is that worth
5
watching? Because we're caught up
dude.
with Pluribus and we're like considering hopping to that. We did, like, when we're done like writing in the studio for the day, we just like veg out and like watch movies and shows, and that's on our list.
Dude, it is brutal. It is.
Really?
The pilot is so shocking. I'm not going to give anything away because I want you
Yeah.
to be shocked by what they pull off.
Yeah.
But it is wild. Like, I think it takes it way further than the movies ever did. And I think the movies are
Really?
awesome. But like,
Yeah, I think they did a great job with those.
and the lore they add to like the Pennywise and the Derry of it all is so cool. Like the episode that just came out 4 is like a big kind of lore dump, and they play with time a little bit too, where they're in 1962, but they go back in time, and it's sick. And episode 5 that's coming out on Sunday is a big one. So now is the good time to get into it.
For sure. Yeah, jump in. And there's a surplus, so I'm sure we'll be able to like catch up. Yeah, nice. Yeah. That one's one that we were like thinking about starting, so we'll probably start it tonight, honestly.
Yes. Good. You'll have to keep me in the loop what you feel about it.
That's
been one
100%.
I've been, if anyone's been like kind of on the fence about it, I'm like, watch it. It's really, really fucking good.
I saw a clip online of like, it was just like it was like monsters in the woods. I'm like, what is this? And like, it's and I'm like, oh, like I just assumed, I don't know, like the movies are really cool, but like it doesn't really get any. I mean, it's great, and like it was like like watching the first It, and like they did a really good job with these movies. But I saw that clip, and I'm like, that it seems it's not out of left field, but like it makes sense when you think about it. But it's just like, wow, like, yeah, I'm excited to watch that now.
Yeah, so many people have kind of been complaining because I feel like a lot of people forget or don't know that It or Pennywise is only one form. He's a shape-shifting demonic creature, like basically an alien, so it's like
could be whatever
you see a ton of different forms in this series, and that's one of the biggest parts I loved about it, because like they push the boundaries of like what's weird. There's stuff in the first episode where I'm like, how the fuck did they think of this? This is so weird and gross. Like, good for them, because it is awesome.
I mean, if you have like antagonists like that who can be anything, like why not push the boundaries a little, like
exactly.
And it's supposed to be scary. It's, think of the scariest thing you could possibly come up with. And I don't know, if it scares you, it'll scare a kid. Like, that's the point of it.
Yeah, for sure. It's awesome. So I'm looking forward to see you guys.
Think that's on our list. So I'm gonna push that one once we're done tonight.
Yeah, the biggest thing I've been watching recently, I've been kind of just like plowing through TV shows, but Stranger Things, last season of Stranger Things is coming up, so I rewatched the entire series.
Wow, good for you. That's a haul. What was it like? Was it 4
seasons?
Seasons,
4 seasons. And the 4th season is 13 hours of content. It's long.
That's
it's long.
I should do that, because I did enjoy that a lot, but it's been so long since I finished it that I feel like I need to refresh, and I'm sure they'll give you like synopsis. Recap. But like I feel like there's so much, they did a good job with this, like so much, like I mean, like you said, different perspectives. I'm sure there'll be things I forgot. I'm thinking back on it now. No, there's things I'm like I probably didn't pay attention to, or like a second run through would benefit me, because I'm looking forward to that one. It's coming out soon, right?
Yeah, in a few weeks.
Yeah,
the first like 4 episodes drop on Thanksgiving, and then Christmas is the second 2, I think, and then the finale is New Year's Eve. But yeah, dude, I was shocked at how much I forgot, or it made me appreciate how well the Duffer Brothers handle story and handle character. And I've always liked, like, every time a new season comes out, I pretty much watch it immediately with my wife, and I'm like, wow, that was so sick. But rewatching, there's so many things you might miss from like the breaks between the seasons or whatever, and just seeing like a linear growth, because I mean that's how these stories are formed, and I feel like so many people forget about that. It's like a lot of people look at series as just season, but they're all telling a bigger story, and that's the whole point of this. And that I love rewatching stuff before going into something, so you that stuff is like fresh in your mind. You can really understand the full concept of what these people are trying to accomplish. And wow, dude, are these people amazing at story? Like me rewatching season 1 and being like, even if they didn't plan on it at the time, they did a great job at connecting it later on of like,
Yeah. You're like, oh,
wow,
like,
they had Vecna teased in like episode 1. There's like a
yeah.
picture that I think might have been originally a Demogorgon, but it looks like
Mhm.
it could be Vecna because it's a shadowy figure. The clock
Yeah.
strike is in
Yeah.
when Will
Oh,
gets
yeah.
captured and stuff. And I'm
Mhm.
like, these guys are
Yeah.
geniuses. Like,
Yeah.
again, even if they didn't plan from it from the jump,
Yeah. You
like
wonder.
them going back and connecting it is
Mhm.
so good. And just the way each season kind of reveals a little bit more of the mystery of the Upside Down
Yeah.
and how 11's connected. And
Mhm.
I'm so excited to kind of get the full picture. Even like season
Yeah.
4, that season is a masterpiece. Like the finale is a
Yeah.
movie. It's literally
Yeah.
2.5 hours. It's a movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
And just rewatching it, being like, dude, these guys are incredible. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. I
can't
like
believe it.
that's when I remember liking a lot, but like it's been a while since between like that last season and now, right? Like,
3 years. 3
yeah.
years.
So I think it's worth the catch up for sure. But it is funny. You think like, did they know about all this stuff from the beginning, and like, did they leave those Easter eggs for you like on purpose, or is it just like a happy
I don't
accident?
know.
But yeah, but I still, I mean, as far as like storytelling and just like that's when a series is like really good. Obviously, like way different here, but like there's an anime called One Piece and there's well over 1,000 episodes, but they've done
Yeah.
that to the point where you're like, this guy must have had like the end game in his mind from the get go because
Right.
there's no way that like 1,000 episodes you like dropped a little Easter egg. Like that's just those things are, I don't know. That's what makes a good story to me. It's just like the pieces are there if you were really paying attention, but like,
Mm.
and then rewatchability, you can go back and like that kind of stuff is really cool.
Yeah. So I was already hyped for the final season, like, which I
Hmm.
think most people are still. Like, even
Yeah.
if people say they aren't, they're going to be
No,
watching it. So it's
they'll
like
watch a
you
hundred
can say
percent.
whatever you want.
Yeah.
You're still
Yeah.
excited to watch it.
Yeah.
But
Exactly.
rewatching it gave me so much like appreciation for the series as a whole and
Hmm.
got me even more excited. I was like sad when I finished it. I was like, man, maybe I should have waited a few weeks. It would have been like right up
Yeah.
into it. But
Yeah.
I also went through it pretty fast. It only took a couple weeks, but
Yeah.
I am lucky and I'm a freelance designer, so I can put something on while I'm
Yeah.
working.
You
It's
can kind of,
easy
yeah.
for me to do,
You've seen
so
it before
it's
too, so it's not like you have to like
yeah,
give it all of your attention.
fully pay
But
attention. Yeah,
yeah, I gotta do
exactly.
that. I'm gonna like it's
Oh,
cool having some
so
downtime.
good.
I don't like to watch like too much in a row, but there's shows like that I will find myself like I've been sitting here for like 4 hours. I gotta go like do something. I gotta take a walk or something, like
Yeah.
it's slippery slope for sure. But yeah, I don't know. I think because it came out so long ago, like I feel like people will be hyped once it comes out, and I'm sure it'll be great. But like it's just one of the things you almost forget about. But I'd rather them take their time and make sure like the finale
Yes.
is good, you know?
Yeah, they've even said because like a lot of press is coming out about it now, obviously leading up to it,
Mhm.
and they said they finished like the final 30 minutes, like when they first started like in production of the last season, they made sure the final 30 minutes like stuck the landing and then kind of worked backwards from that. And I'm
Nice.
like,
Yeah.
thank God, because they kind of they reference like Game of Thrones, and they're like, we don't want
Mhm.
a Game of Thrones this where it's like one of the best
Yeah.
series of all time
And
until
then
the end, and then the end just
yeah, they
fumbles the
botch
fucking
it.
bit. They're like, we want to land the ship. So I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm gonna
Yeah.
trust you because everything you've done has been awesome. So
Yeah. Well,
I'm
that's
here
good.
just awaiting and ready to see if it does land the ship. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, at least it sounds like at least they're aware that that's a possibility. So it feels like
Yeah.
they probably did everything they could to make sure that that wasn't the case, which is, I appreciate for sure.
Yeah, 100%. And then I was watching this when it first came out, and then I just stopped for no reason, and then I
Yeah.
picked it back up. But it was the series You,
Oh yeah.
and I stopped I think at season 2, and then carried on, and I've been watching that over like the past like few months, just kind of at
Mm.
night when my wife and I are just kind of after dinner and after going to the
Yeah.
gym, we're just
Yeah.
hanging out, and I'll put
Fun to
that on.
watch.
And it's a pretty good show. It ends pretty
Ah,
good, I think. It's just kind
yeah.
of wild to see this dude who thinks he's like Dexter, and he's
Yeah.
not at all. Like, Dexter's still a serial killer, but at least he has a moral
Yeah.
compass about it. This
Mhm.
guy thinks he's
Just
Dexter and just isn't. He's just like the
yeah.
worst human being ever.
I do
And
remember watching the first 2 seasons likewise, but I don't think I've caught up with it. I heard the newest was, like, pretty good.
it gets like he goes to Europe for one season, and you're
Mm.
like, how can this dude keep getting away with it? But then they explain it in a
Yeah.
kind of a smart way. And it's just insane how like crazy at this guy. So just how he's just like,
Yeah.
I am the hero. I am the protagonist. You know, it's like
Yeah.
very the
Just like
unreliable narrator.
crazy
Uh,
narcissistic kind of fucking.
and the thing that just drives me crazy is like, obviously he has like severe mental health issues.
Yeah.
And it's crazy to see him like how quickly he falls in and out of love with someone and how he gets obsessed with
Mm,
women. It's like
yeah.
so gross, but it's like
It-
he'll immediately be like, "You're the one," and then something weird
yeah.
happens. Like mostly they find out who he really is, and they're like,
Mm,
"You're a psychopath," and then he's like,
yeah.
"You're not the one," and then finds the new one to
Yeah.
trick.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the last season does have, I mean, the last two seasons have some pretty big twists that I did not see coming. I was like, whoa,
Okay.
because I was
Yeah.
kind of like, it can get a little repetitive because it is kind
Hmm.
of the same thing over and over.
Yeah.
Like people find out he has to kill
It
him,
was,
he hides
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
How's he going to get out of it? You know,
Yeah.
but there's a few twists where I'm like, whoa,
Hmm.
didn't see that coming. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Nice.
And it ends pretty satisfying too. It's kind of like a thing like where if you didn't finish it, it's worth the watch. It's not like
Yeah.
one of the best shows I've ever seen, but it's like a solid TV show that doesn't end
Yeah.
and you're like, I hated that I watched that. So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah. That'd be a bummer.
kind of a
'Cause,
plus.
like, I do remember, I definitely liked the first 2 seasons. Maybe after the second, I was just like, all right, this is kind of, I get it. Like, what can you really like? Is he just gonna keep doing this? Like,
Yeah.
but yeah, I don't. I'm sure they have developed. Was it the fifth season now?
Yeah.
Something like
Fifth
that,
is
or
where it ended. Yeah, yeah.
gotcha. Yeah. So I feel like, yeah, I'll have to add that to my list. I want to watch the new Dexter too. I haven't seen,
It's pretty good.
like, yeah, yeah, because I that's a series that I watched all the way through, and it was, whether you like the ending or not, I thought it was great. But then I heard the newest. I don't know if it's like, because they did like a prequel kind of Dexter thing, right? Too, or
Yep.
something where he was young, but then this newest season apparently is really good. Someone told me that they loved it, so, and that's a series I
Yeah.
really liked. So,
Obviously the original
mhm.
Dexter series ended. It's weird because I don't mind the ending scene, like him locking away,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
everything that led up to it is like the weirdest. The whole Deb falling in love with him subplot was
hmm,
so weird, and like I was
yeah,
like, why is this happening? It feels
yeah,
so off the wall.
yeah.
And like one of the
Hmm.
main writers like left after I think like the Trinity Killer stuff, and that's why
Okay,
there's like
that's
a
where it kind of
very
like,
obvious decline
yeah, yeah, yeah,
in
kind of falls
quality
off
of
for sure.
story.
Yeah.
But all of the OG team came back for New Blood and then for the new one, Resurrection. And
Ah,
New Blood also has a pretty bad ending, but they
yeah.
immediately retcon it. It's funny because they retcon
Huh.
it in
Yeah.
the prequel series because the prequel series starts with him in present time and then it kind of like rewinds and the prequel series is actually really good, but they
Huh.
canceled after one season and I'm so mad about it because
Mm.
everyone they cast as the young version is perfect. They
Spot
are
on. Yeah.
so good. And it's so
Huh.
cool seeing like
Mhm.
Harry alive and Harry interacting with Dexter and Deb.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
stuff is awesome. But
Huh.
they canceled it. So that's a bummer.
Yeah.
But Resurrection is really cool too because instead of doing the same thing over and over, you see
Hmm.
Dexter evolve. Like
Interesting.
truly evolve and kind of become this different human. And
Huh.
that's what I appreciated the most of it. There's some stuff that I feel like they kind of rushed by maybe a little too fast and stuff like
Yeah.
that, but it's
Yeah.
fine. But that's gonna keep going. And I
Nice.
do think it's really funny that this franchise keeps finding a way to like righting
R-
the wrongs of the endings of that people hated.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm hoping when this finally comes to a close, they end it in a satisfying way. I don't know how it's going to be. Like, does he finally get caught? I don't know. I don't know
Yeah.
what would really be satisfying, but I'm hoping that when it
Maybe
ends,
like
it's you're like, okay,
rectify. Yeah.
got it, cool, great, awesome.
They're
But
gonna
yeah,
nail it, and then Game of Thrones is gonna come back and be like, actually, this is how they'll do like a movie. Be like, forget all the other stuff. This is how it's actually gonna end, or like they'll do another season or something.
they were supposed to do like a post, like a
Oh
show
yeah,
taking place
something with
after the
Jon
events
Snow, right?
with Snow, and
Like,
then that
yeah,
got
yeah, it
canceled.
got canceled. I did see that. That
Yeah,
was a bummer. And like House of Dragons is really cool. Yeah, it'd be a tough thing to kind of fix that bot's job. It'd be,
yeah. A lot to
I
undo
guess,
or
just read the
retcon or
book, I
try and make
guess.
better, I guess. Well, the
Yeah.
book doesn't end. That's the
Well,
problem.
yeah, yeah. Once
There's
the
no
ending comes
ending.
out, yeah, I'm sure that's what they ran into. They're like, no source material. I guess we'll just,
End
I
it.
don't know. I know, like, I've heard they like had, they probably talked with him at length about like what the ending should be, but just
Right.
you could tell they didn't have a vision. But I mean, you talk about great series. I love like as someone who likes high fantasy kind of stuff like that. It's just, but everybody liked it. There was something for everybody,
Yeah.
and that's just like I don't know. That one still stings a little bit.
It's I watched like the first 3 seasons as it was coming out, and then my
Hmm.
wife and I, after it finished, went through and watched all of it, which was great
Yeah,
for me because I already had a familiarity with some of the names because there's so many names. It
yeah.
is
It takes
pretty
introducing that many
overwhelming
characters takes
at first. So that
hmm
was nice because I was like, oh, I remember all these people. Cool. This is great.
yeah, yeah,
And going into it. And
yeah,
it's not like we liked the finale because we didn't. We
yeah.
weren't as crushed by it as everyone else
No, yeah,
because
like
you had to wait years in between, and then
mhm,
there we didn't have that anticipation, and we didn't have that hype level going into it because everyone's like it sucked.
yeah,
So
yeah,
our expectations were very much lowered.
yeah,
Again, I still think they totally fumbled the ball for
yeah,
crossing the finish line for sure.
yeah.
I was just like, it's not. I've seen worse
It's not.
finales.
Oh yeah,
I've
it's
seen
not
worse.
like it's not terrible. It's like I think everybody just had high expectations and maybe they
Yeah.
knew it could be better. Because like I feel like
Right.
even the episode or two before that were like unbelievable. Like they're like it was
Yeah.
good in my opinion up until like maybe the last episode or two. I'm having trouble like really remembering, but I liked people would be like that whole season was terrible. I don't think it really
Uh,
was. I think like
I don't
maybe you
either.
can argue about like the finale, but it makes sense. It's not like what they did was just like, feels like they were, doing killing people or doing whatever. Like they weren't really going off on tangents. It was just like maybe less climactic than you expected, but no, it wasn't bad. It's just like a series like that, it's just I feel like maybe they were doomed from the get-go, especially without having
Maybe,
the
yeah.
source material, you know what I mean? Like, and Homeboy's still not even done those books. He's still trying to figure out the ending. Like,
I don't think it's ever gonna happen.
probably,
It's
probably not,
definitely
honestly.
never
He's
gonna
probably like, because I mean, if he didn't have pressure before, now he knows what will happen if he botches the ending and he's going to hear about it.
right. It's like
He,
doubled. The pressure is
yeah,
like honestly
the pressure,
doubled.
yeah, seriously. Because I thought he was close when like the finale dropped, and that was years
Yeah.
ago. Like it's still not out. I don't know, not to put any pressure on you dude, but like I'm sure a lot of
Come
people are
on,
waiting.
bro.
And yeah, yeah. Like where are we at? I haven't read many fantasy books like as much as I would like to, but that I feel like it's a series I'd probably like get into, or at least audiobook or something like that. Like
Uh, Audiobook might be easier.
yeah, yeah,
It's I've gotten into reading pretty big in the past like year,
hmm,
but sci-fi and fantasy are kind of hard for me to get into reading wise. It depends
yeah,
on what it is. Because usually
yeah.
fantasy
You-
books are so long.
Yeah, they just
So long.
yeah. I've been listening to The Wheel of Time. I think that was
Oh,
so there's a series on
Prime.
HP. Yeah, yeah.
Prime.
And I was like, this is awesome. Like I really like fantasy, kind of like Lord of the Rings kind of vibe. I really like this. Like I watched the whole first season. I was obsessed. I probably watched it twice, and I'm like, and I realized it was one of like the best-selling fantasy novels of all time. They're 15 books or something crazy like that. So I think I'm like on the third book, but it's completely different from the show. So it confused me like immediately.
Oh,
And two, the guy just explains into like a blade of grass. Like I know what a tree looks like. It's just like he
yeah.
explains to like such like detail, which is awesome. And I'm sure it was really cool by the time it came out, but not, my brain's rotted. I need gratification. You know what I mean? Like I quit explaining this forest. I get it. Like it's the
Yeah.
morning. There's dew, but I don't know. I'm sure that series is really good, and like I think the combination of watching the show and like reading the book and like they made like other people the protagonists. Like it's confusing for sure. Like
Huh.
reading
Interesting.
and watching at the same time. I think they did a good job with the show, but they definitely like loosely based it off the books. At least the
Huh.
first three or four that I read. So it's
Wow.
I was finding myself getting confused. I'm like, didn't this person do this instead of like they just had different characters do different like this guy was supposed to go off and
Huh.
beat the big bad, and they made it so another of the characters did that instead. So it was just like,
Interesting.
yeah, I like they weren't really. It wasn't super true to the book itself. But maybe I'll hop back into that. That one's. It's nice when you have like long drives. Like when we're on tour, I'll just
Mm.
like if I have to kill like a night drive, I'll just it's like watching a movie, but obviously you're driving. It's not very safe. But audiobook's the way to go.
Oh yeah, that's good stuff. That's
Yeah,
yeah. Audiobooks are like podcasts are my big driving things.
yeah.
I don't have to worry about tour driving anymore.
Oh yeah,
Thankfully,
yeah.
but
It's yeah. I
I can
will.
understand why an audiobook would be great because like those are
Yeah,
usually very long, and
yeah,
so you just pop it in, you're just good to go.
yeah.
Good to
But it's got
go.
to be a good book because if you're like
Oh yeah,
if
yeah,
you're
yeah.
zoning out, it's
Yeah, not
it's
good.
2 or 3 in the morning. You're like, I gotta put like I don't know, like a war podcast on or something like something will keep me awake.
Tim,
But
thank you so much for joining me today, man. This is
yeah,
awesome.
hey, thank you for having me. Like I said, it's the first for me, but this is great. I feel like keep talking about all this stuff.
Me too. Me too. I'm right there. I'm right there with you. But before we get out of here, please plug what Windwalker's got going on and where the people can find you.
Yeah, so we're all over social media, Windwalkers, anywhere you listen to music, Spotify, Apple Music. We're there, YouTube, all that kind of stuff. We just announced a spring tour next year with Dayseeker. We're really excited about. But yeah, just keep in touch. Socials. We just released an EP. I guess that's pretty important to mention. I Don't Belong Here. We dropped maybe a little over a month ago.
Yep.
But yeah, check us out. We're going to be touring a lot next year. We'll probably hopefully coming to a city near you.
Amazing. I'll make sure and link everything down below. So if you don't follow them already, go make sure you follow them. And if you want to support the podcast, go to millerhearns.com. All our links are there in one easy place. And if you want to follow me in my personal account, it's just at SeanXma on Instagram and Twitter. And until next time, see you later, nerds.